that went like quicker than I was expecting. All right, I'm a little bleary-eyed, but I think I got a good night's sleep, but partly because I fell asleep on the couch, and I woke up at 1, took a medication, and then needed to give myself, 15 or 20 minutes to take another one, and woke up at 2:45. So then I took the rest of my medications and actually went to bed. So, yeah. And I have active hours, and I actually slept through my first active hour this morning. So the alarm went off at 7:30, but my brain did not catch on until about 10 after 8. So it was nice. It was nice. I appreciated it. All right. So we are here to do Hidden Power of the Bible. I'm running into the situation where the weeks are short, but the days are long, and it's a weird time crunch thing where like the day it can be kind of long, and yet why is it Friday? I don't know. So, all right, let's do the housekeeping. That's just me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. Get you 1 email a week. Tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. So, click here now means it. It is also a blind CC, so you won't end up on anybody else's email list, which is super important. And then I'll mention the social medias merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize them. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So we ask you instead, go like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual posts. It bumps us in the algorithms. More people see our stuff. So it's a free and easy way that you can support the center by getting our stuff in front of more people. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I am the running Rev Ryan across all of the social medias that I am on. All right. Hidden Power of the Bible. I like to point out, not a big book. And we are also more than halfway through. Sorry, let's do it this way. This is what we've got left. And in this case, this is Ernest choosing what he thinks is the most relevant to our lives today, which is mostly, he has been concentrating mostly on the teachings of Jesus, for obvious reasons. So, because that's what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to follow the teachings of Jesus. We are supposed to follow the way. And honestly, if you look around the world, a lot of the religions have the same way. The teachers may have different names, but it's a similar ideal. And we, like yesterday, we learned the 2 great commandments: love God and love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, loving God is easy, unless you've been brought up with the accountant in the sky, who's just waiting to pounce on you. That I can understand where that would be a little hard to do. And you heard my objection to loving your neighbor as yourself, not because it's about loving the neighbor. It's because if you don't love yourself and then you proceed to love your neighbor the way you love yourself, therein lies the problem. So, let's see what's on tap for today, which is Matthew 26. And it's basically 2 sentences. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Then said Jesus unto him, Put up again thy sword into its place, for they that take up the sword shall perish by the sword. And that is Matthew 26. So, and it's short. History proves the reality of the truth. As we glance over the pages of history, the saying of Jesus stands sure and true. Those nations who have risen by the sword have fallen among the ruins of their own false hope. History has proven that strife begets strife, and the way of the transgressor is hard. In international strife, all nations are beaten, insofar as they have taken up the sword in hate, avarice, or lust. We do not recognize the apparent power which lasts for a day, for it is but a false gesture, defeating its own purpose Sorry. Hang on. I need to rearrange my little desktop here. I don't know what I've got going on. Okay. Whew. Okay. Hang on. Let me go back. We do not recognize that that apparent power which lasts for a day, for it is but a false gesture defeating its own purpose, as falseness ever must. Jesus, speaking from the viewpoint of eternal truth, said that all who take up the sword shall perish by it. We should remember that life is not well reasoned unless we reason from the standpoint of the eternal soul. Oh, okay. We should remember that life is not well reasoned unless we reason from the standpoint of the eternal soul. Those who have given the best to the world have always been best remembered by it, and most loved throughout the ages. If we attempt to measure existence from this short span of life, it would not be explained, and we would find no real answer to itself. Hate begets hate, and strife produces strife. Love alone overcomes all and justifies the eternity of her dominion. I mean, he's not pulling any punches here. He's not pulling any punches here. Because he is saying, I mean, he spelled it out. Those who have taken up the sword in hate, avarice, or lust. You know, and avarice and lust aren't that different. And I hesitate to mention, you know, politics because, you know, can we not leave Greenland alone? Because if that's not avarice and lust, I don't know what is. And I'm not even going to talk about what's going on in the Middle East because that's all three. And if you are watching the political ads being run right now, a whole lot of that, they have taken up their swords in hate. A lot of the politicians have. Because our politicians are no longer telling us what they are going to do for us. They're telling us to hate each other. And if that's not taking up the sword, I don't know what is. So, now I find it interesting that he chose to watch and pray that ye not enter into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. But he didn't really, I guess he kind of did, because he's talking about viewing from the eternal standpoint. And the flesh doesn't last for eternity. The soul does. The essence within does. And hate and avarice and lust are definitely products of the flesh. Okay, maybe he did. I just needed to think about it for a minute. And I was thinking out loud about it. So, you know. It's one of those things that love is easy, but complicated. And hate looks easy, but is not. Because all of the good things that love does to the body and all of the awful things that hate does to the body. Because the interesting thing is that hate really does have this detrimental effect on your health, as well as then the choices that you make that impact whatever it is that you hate or whoever it is that you hate. You know, hate just eats everything alive. Whereas love is very healing and, yeah. So I guess if we are, in this case, we are reasoning from the standpoint of the eternal soul, or that's what he called it. We are reasoning from the standpoint of the eternal soul. So he did deal with it, just I was focused on the sword. And I was focused on the sword because, this country has been politically messy for the last 20 years. And that's really where, again, I've really seen where so many politicians are so busy telling us to hate the other side, instead of telling us what they're going to do for us, or frequently they're telling us what they're going to do for us in hating the other side. And I'm just like, I don't know. Okay. I think that's the situation where, here's where I'm going to leave it, because I don't have any good answers. I don't have any good answers here. Other than learn to love yourself the way God loves you, and then learn to love your neighbors the way God loves you. That's it. And put down the sword. We don't have to have avarice and lust because there's enough to go around. And I guess that's the biggest problem. So tomorrow we're going to do Luke 15. We're going to read. Well, tomorrow's Saturday, so I may go ahead and start talking about Luke 15, because if you don't know what Luke 15 is, it's the story of the prodigal son. So, we're going to do that today. And I'm just going to set down this, those who live by the sword perish by the sword. Because the easy answer is love, but that's also the hard one. And no, love is easy, but complicated. And I guess that's where I'm going to leave it, is learn to love yourself as God loves you, and then learn to love your neighbor the way God loves you. And if you are thinking about the accountant in the sky, that's not the God I'm talking about. That is not the God I'm talking about. Because I don't believe in that God. All right. I believe in the everlasting arms holding you. That's the God I believe. Okay. All right. Moving on. I am going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a let's wrap this week up day, a be aware of the heat day. I have scorched my fingers on various parts of my car every day this week, and it was 107 when I got in my car at 6 o'clock last night. So please be aware of the heat. Stay out of the sun between 1 and 7 is where they're telling us our heat index is. And I would remind you to drink plenty of water day, a cuddle your fur babies day, check your fur babies water dishes day. It's hot. A do what you gotta do day, wrap the week up day, eat something amazing day, make sure that you do something just for yourself day, make sure you sit down and rest day, let's go get after it day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because it very easily could be, we all have those days, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to say, you are a godling. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything at all is possible. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move on into the process of my day. I'm going to remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. No, he will be on this afternoon. Enough said. I'll be back with you in the morning after I go to the park. So, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved always. And I will